There was a very tragic incident in the news recently of a white teenager having his life taken at the hands of a black teenager for literally no reason. This is incredibly sad, and I don't want to make this into content or make light of it. Since then, there have been sentiments online that seem to imply if we could share enough crime data about black people, things will change. Is this true? I approach today's topic sober, rage-filled, hopeful. The joy of the Lord extends from me and hopefully rests softly on your tongue.
Here's the hypothetical.
Now, before you ask, just keep in mind, just keep that in mind as you ask your question. Go ahead.
Imagine you didn't know anything. Let's say you didn't know anything about this latest incident, and imagine that I told you that a young man stabbed another young man to death for telling him that he was in the wrong seat. And then I told you that one young man in the altercation was white and the other was black. And then I asked you to guess the race of the assailant. Without any more information, you would know the answer immediately, wouldn't you? Every single person in the country would know the answer immediately. Because young black males are violent to a wildly, outrageously disproportionate degree. That is a fact.
You mean nobody thinks white people are capable of murder?
Nobody wants soggy and
Not a single respondent? 0% of America? Jeez.
It is the same reason they showed you the childhood images of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin and so on. They're trying to short circuit your pattern recognition.
This video is sponsored by KFC. KFC has recognized a pattern of blacks deep frying foods like the foods we offer. When a child of the North bites into our crispy chicken drumsticks, thighs, and breasts, they are operating outside of what KFC recognizes as a normal pattern.
Yeah, it's tricky because I get what he means. Like, if you see a pattern in a certain neighborhood of like black dudes pulling something out of their pocket and it just happens to be a firearm every time, as an officer of the court, you know, you have a responsibility to recognize that pattern and defend the public. So when a black guy does that and it's a cell phone and you defend the public, you know, that's kind of makes it hard. You know what I mean? That makes it tricky. But I actually have a story of two black guys who mutually saw a pattern together. Why don't we listen to it together? What do you think?
True story about PTSD, trauma, and growth. This is gangster, right? So I'm going to this event the other night downtown. I get there 30 minutes early so I could park my car, get my electric scooter out the trunk, and go ride around downtown, clear my mind. I love doing that. When I'm done riding and I go to put this back in the trunk, I notice a car done parked behind me that wasn't there. And I look in it, I see it's a black dude with dreadlocks, just like me. So instantly I'm like, I don't want to put this in the trunk with him sitting right here. So I go make the block again, come back 2 minutes later, he's still sitting in the car, right? So I'm like, dang, I go make the block again. Come back, he's still sitting in the car. At this point, I'm like, man, forget it. It's just going to be what it's going to be. I pop the trunk. I go to putting this in there. As soon as I pop the trunk, he opened his door, right? So I look back. We make eye contact. He was like, man, I ain't know what you was on, bro. He was like, shoot, I'm from Chicago, man. I seen you looking around here. I thought you might have been trying to do something. And I looked at him. I said, man, I'm from New Orleans. I ain't know what you was on. I said, that's why I kept making the block. You heard me? We both look alike, but we profiling each other because of stuff we done seen and been through in the past. Man, eventually he get out the car. We dap each other up. We end up getting cool. We go into the event together. That communication and growth, that's gangster.
If you'll notice, both of the gentlemen in this story grew up in some of the most dangerous cities in America. So I would never want to make somebody feel racist for responding to a pattern that they grew up experiencing. But let's be honest, you guys. Most people, they didn't grow up in the hood. They just see black people acting crazy on TV, and maybe they start to think, oh, all of y'all act like that. I have a confession to make, you guys. This was me growing up. I didn't like black people. You think I'm joking? I'm not. I had a gun pulled on me when I was about 9 years old. I thought that was it. Black people made fun of me all the time, and I had a lot of resentment towards just being black and black people. So much that I would just call myself Korean. Dead serious. Thankfully, the good Lord, Jesus Christ, said, you know what, Chante? I made you black with purpose. So when Matt says something like this...
Same reason they showed you the childhood images of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin and so on, instead of the images where they were wearing gold teeth or flashing gang signs.
I just think gold teeth? Him? He has some of the hood aesthetic, and he looks very approachable to me. And listen to that charming voice.
Hey guys, nothing is going on. I just wanted you to see the outfit.
Now, I don't want to take Matt's words out of context because I do understand some of what he's trying to communicate. But for some black kids, gang means I can go to school today without getting beat up. Gang might also mean I don't have a family at home, but I have a family now. And listen, y'all, you probably know this, but some of these kids grow up in the worst economic conditions imaginable. So maybe when addressing the community's issues, the aesthetics, maybe there could be some compassion and maybe a more responsible way of speaking about it so that we don't start to cause people to associate a certain aesthetic with violence. And I'm not even saying he did that, but I know it happened. Now on to what I was really worried about. The comments. Build more prisons. Mega prisons. Nothing fancy. Just huge warehouses with cages in. So just continue to expand on what we've already been building. Got you. Start locking up criminals. That includes the growing number of people who shoplift. Dubai-style punishments. Just imagine how better off our lives will be if we start removing those vermin from our daily lives. I'm not stereotyping anybody with that accent. Just a character, man. Facts. Over 50% of all murders in the U.S. are committed by black males ages 16 to 45. They represent about 4% of the population. If there were a dog breed this vicious, we'd outlaw it. Now, putting aside just me personally, for my comfort, it's a little too close mixing animals with black people. That's just me. But let's put that aside for a sec. Did you know pit bulls constitute a relatively small percentage of overall dog population, yet they appear disproportionately represented in fatal attack statistics? However, pit bulls remain legal in all 50 states. So, we wouldn't. Okay, this one's funny to me. Okay, this one's funny. I'm pre-laughing. Nothing will change regardless of how we speak about it. The only solution was separation. I don't know if this person knows, but we did this already. And instead, it was the white people killing the black people. Many of us have been talking about it for years, and we were called racist for it. If a white cop shoots a black man, the black community comes together to scream about it. Black man kills a white one, nothing. Not a peep. It's time for true equality of truth. Black culture in America is toxic and needs to be exposed. I prefer white culture. Far superior, and we all know it. Watching Matt Walsh blog get white pilled gives me hope for the future. What is white pilled? Do you just stop buying food seasonings? Do you stop buying spices? Do you start applying to as many subreddits as you can to be a mod? Like, listen, white people, you know I love you. I'm just having fun. I love you. I love you. You know this. Come on. And if you don't, I do. I love you. W, Matt. White Americans were forced to desegregate at gunpoint so their grandkids could face this every day and be blamed for it. I don't know what kind of buses you guys rode going to school. Maybe you didn't even ride the bus. Maybe you were valet to school. But the buses I was on, yeah, there were some white kids who definitely could have benefited from a black grandma just applying a little pressure to their trachea. You know you know what I'm saying? When black grandma tells you to stop, you better listen. Imagine if black culture embraced Thomas Sowell as a role model. Okay, listen, let me explain something because some of you are probably in the dark on who this person is. There's something that white people do. It's fine, but it's like absurdly funny because I've seen it happen in Christian circles as well. So like, in the racial discussion, white people will find like one black dude who aligns with, whose views have a lot of overlap with him. Now, in this case, Thomas Sowell is genuinely like very intelligent and has a lot of great things to say. I have no problem with him. But it then becomes the belt at which white people will like whip black people with. So it's funny to just see it here. Imagine if you guys listened to your daddy. That's what this is how it feels like. But yeah, maybe because a lot of us didn't have dads growing up. Now, obviously, these comments are highly curated, the worst of the worst. Most of the comments that I saw throughout social media were fairly mild, a little bit sus, but fair. However, one comment I did not see, not a single comment of hundreds of comments I scrolled through, was anyone aware of the fact that there are black people who have invested in these communities, who have returned to these communities, who see the same problems that you do and are doing something about it. And I'm not saying everyone has to do something about it, but y'all, we know.
Because I said, for me, the first sellout in the hood is a drug dealer, and people don't look at it that way. And because
expound on that.
The first sellout is a drug dealer because I'm just trying to feed my family is not an answer for you to be able to kill my family. You can't kill my family because you're trying to feed your family. So you're the first sellout. And we co-sign that and be cool. It's like, he's just trying to eat. He's not just trying to eat. He's killing your family while he's trying to eat. You're creating a climate that makes black on black the worst thing on the planet. You're killing black people trying to make a living. And the oppressor is absolutely loving that. And I said they love a drug dealer. Your colonizer loves a drug dealer because you're killing your people to feed yourself.
And this success story from Mr. Busted Open himself.
Them God moments, you heard me? We in the middle of the street filming a skit.
Oh, nice shorty, man. Original Mr. Busted Open. Y'all know me?
Let's go.
Y'all know that I'm a God fan, man.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going through all my trials and tribulations, who got me out of that? Nobody but God.
Mm-hmm.
So stop playing. I don't have to kiss butt to do nothing or give my butt up or give no bonds or give receipt. I can.
Listen, y'all don't know what prison's like, okay? Listen, if you were in jail, who knows what would happen to you? So cut him some slack. I mean, that is a crazy clip, though.
Bro, you the one, bro. God got a serious call, and you know it too. I know. You know it too. And I know you go back and forth because you're a young brother in the industry. I'm in the industry, so I get it, bro. You the one. Your generation, they'll follow you. Whatever way I can pour into you, I'm here for you. You ain't got to do good or nothing, but just as a mentor, you're the type of thing that I prayed for. That a young brother like you can have your whole generation here.
And if you're not aware, Inali Chapa, like if you don't listen to that type of music, like top. Like for him to have any measure of influence to possibly begin to shift the culture, like I don't think the people commenting understand what an uphill battle this is. Not only, I would say, are there like a spiritual reality to this, you have also insanely wealthy people at the top of record companies who are incentivizing black people to make music that just feeds the doom loop of poverty and violence and just trying to get yours no matter who dies. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, if he dies, but I gotta sell this weed.
So when you see something like someone making a pledge, let's unify around not creating themes in music that promote and glorify murder, drug dealing and drug use, disrespect of women, sexual irresponsibility, like I just wish people like this would just step out of their bubble and realize, like, hey, there are people who care. This is an image from a guy I follow named Aaron Campbell, who has dedicated his life to making sure kids in Philly, a very violent city in America, have an alternative to the streets. So whether it's being part of the violence or being victims of it, he has really tried to give these kids a trajectory, just a place to chill. They got an esports team, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot going on. And despite his best efforts, they have still lost way too many children to violence. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, bro, how are you not just 24/7 depressed? Listen, I know it's Jesus, right? I know it's Jesus. And I think this is the frustrating part of just this whole conversation, right? Regarding the incident about this black kid who killed this white kid at a track meet, he didn't kill this white kid because the blacks are violent. He killed him because of the evil in his own heart. Now, if you would like to have a conversation about violence and black culture, that's fine. However, I can't help but feel like if you're just going to drop crime data and then move on to the next thing, cool. Thank you for the data. Can we get back to killing each other? You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean to make light of the violence in these communities. But wouldn't it be better to Find the people who are actually trying to make a tangible difference. Follow them, like their stuff, give to them financially, and not treat this issue like culture war. Because if you'll notice, even in some of Matt's videos, and I don't mean to pick on Matt because I know this is more than just him, a lot of this is framed around the left isn't talking about this. This is what the media is not telling you. Honestly, bro, who cares? You know, I hesitate a little bit to bring this up because I don't want to paint Matt to be this super villain. But there was also a moment in his video where he said,
okay, black people don't have to worry about being murdered in cold blood if they say something slightly irritating to a random white person. White people have a lot more reason to worry the other way around.
And it was just like, you have a much higher chance of being killed by another white person. Like, I'm the one who's supposed to be afraid. I have a 4.5 times more chance of being killed by another black person. Like, I'm the dude who should be freaked out if I say something slightly irritating to another black person. I only say that to say it just made me feel like he was rightly angry at this tragic incident, which actually will have no impact on your life other than just anger. And then black people just started catching strays, right? And this whole conversation came up where in the end, I'm not sure you're going to do anything other than be outraged. So what I'm going to do is I will link D1's Instagram if you would like to follow him, or because really the things he's doing is awesome. Pastor Aaron Campbell, who has the ministry I just told you about in Philadelphia, if you feel compelled at all or moved to give to what he's doing, it's really amazing. And then a church in Philadelphia called the Epiphany, who is also, you know, on the same thing that Pastor Aaron Campbell is. This is just a moving beyond merely being upset or outraged, or even if you just feel like, yeah, this I would like to do so, to help contribute in some way, but I'm not about to move into the hood, because trust me, I don't want to either. So you guys are amazing. Thank you for watching. For real, I really love you guys. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. I love you, and enjoy this silent music video, which is a tribute to homies who have done dirt and need Jesus. I would play it, but then I would probably get whitelisted, which is okay, but maybe one day. I don't know. I'm just scared of copyright on YouTube. So, love you guys. See you next time.